Hi, I'm Debra Gershov West. I'm an emergency medicine specialist and the director of the emergency department here at Asuta, Ashdod in the south of Israel. I'm appealing to you to join our mission to create a mobile simulation center whose goal is to train both doctors and nurses and any medical staff in the military, in the civilian, in hospitals and in the community to prepare all of our staff for the immediate, imminent events. Just a bit of history on myself. I studied in Australia. I went to Yavna, then to Scopus. I was in Bnei Akiva. I studied medicine in Monash University, and after residency, I came to Israel. In Israel, I did a specialty in emergency medicine and in internal medicine and then emergency medicine. In 2014, I started a national course in emergency medicine together with Professor George Breitberg from Australia, whose goal was to train the doctors around the country in fields in emergency medicine which we actually don't appear in the syllabus or in the curriculum, and there's a lot of emphasis on trauma and critical care. This is a compulsory course. Every year there's 50 residents. We've had over 400 residents involved. And it's all based on skill sets and simulations, basically it's all hands-on. In 2017, I became the director of the emergency department here. It's the only emergency department in the country to work on the Australian model. That is, it's staffed exclusively by emergency medicine doctors 24/7. And another thing that we made compulsory was that there was a senior doctor. We thought we were ready. Bit by bit, as we say in Arab slang in Israel, shwaya shwaya, slowly, we've been training ourselves at a local level in the hospital, at a national level in emergency medicine, as well as that in the army, to be ready for basically whatever we confront. But we never expected to confront what we're confronting now, which was, as you know, atrocities on a scale that we have not seen since the Holocaust. I heard it described in the Newsweek as the equivalent of 12 9/11s for the population in Israel. It seems that in 24 hours, the Hamas managed to involve and include every single creative form of bestiality in order to murder and massacre our people. And that's not all. As I'm sure you're all aware, we are now facing a war on every front. Lebanon's involved, Syria's involved. All of the Islamic Jihad and the Hamas in Yehuda and Shomron in the West Bank are rearing their ugly heads and fighting, as well as the war that we have entered, we are going to enter in the south, as well as the issue of the hostages, as well as dealing with the trauma that we're all undergoing at the moment. So what can we do? As you know, Israel is a startup nation, and so at the moment, in the last 2 weeks, there's also been a lot of startups, everyone using their own expertise. My expertise is emergency medicine, trauma and education, and particular simulation-based education. So together with a team of your physicians who basically turned to me and said, what can we do to help? We came up with this idea of creating a mobile simulation center. The goal is that we get the equipment and the team that is necessary, along with the transporter, and we go wherever we are asked to go, be it to the military, be it to hospitals, be it to community centers. And we basically train people for what we need to train them and also for what they ask. I'm doing this already. In the last 2 weeks, I've been getting calls every single day. Today, I'm going to an army unit somewhere in the center of Israel. Last Thursday, I was down south. Every night I do Zoom sessions where I'm training up people in emergency and trauma care. At the moment, the mobile simulation center is my car. In the back of it, there's an old broken doll. There are skilled task trainers for airway management, for chest tubes, and I'm using old equipment that I've got from the hospital. I'm doing this all obviously after hours as much as I can. We want to make this formal. We've teamed up with Ben Gurion University, which is a wonderful simulation center. And what we want to do is we want to create a mobile simulation unit with task trainers, with dolls, with all the equipment that we need, go around the country and train our teams everywhere so that we can all be the best at handling the civilians and the soldiers, the military and the policemen and policewomen, and basically women and children and anybody who gets injured in our vicinity or in our proximity. So I need you on board. I can get together all of the educators. I can do the connection with the army. I've already done the connection with Ben Gurion. We can find all of the right suppliers in order to get all the goods, but this costs money. Simulation equipment is very expensive, transport is expensive, and we need you guys on board, and we need to do it as soon as possible. We do have some interim plans so that we can get it started in the next 3 days. We can rent some of the equipment until we get ourselves set up, but that's not a long-term proposition. And unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be a long-term war. So please come on board. You've always been my natural partners. I've never left my Australian part behind. And like we're a startup nation, I think I've always prided myself as Australians that we are honest, we're straightforward, and we just make things happen. So along with the startup mentality in Israel and the make things happen and the heart in Australia, I'm asking you to come on board.